Tell me a story about safety. I am in a forest, and whilst there are many trees in the forest, there is also a significant light shining through the forest. I can see the light above me as its rays beam into the forest, and it lights the whole forest up. And whilst the trees appear quite dense and quite dark, the whole forest appears bright and spacious because of the light rays that shine through the forest. And where the light shines, I can see vivid colours, the colours of nature, bright, light, vivid greens, and the bright, vivid colours of wild flowers dotted all around the forest. And I can see small animals hopping happily around the forest. I can see a white rabbit munching calmly on some grass. I can see a tiny mouse darting this way and that on the forest floor. I can see a squirrel on the ground, bouncing along the ground, and it feels as if it is bouncing along the ground simply for the sheer joy of its movement, and because it feels safe. What you see before you is symbolic of feelings. You find yourself in the forest of feelings, which at first sight appears to be quite dense. One could almost say foreboding, and one could imagine this forest in darkness, and it would feel completely different. One may feel unsafe in the darkness, and that feeling of unsafety primarily comes from the unknown, from the diminishing of the senses, not being able to see, not knowing what lays ahead of oneself. And yet, as the sense of sight appears diminished, the other senses raise in intensity. The sense of hearing, the sense of touch, the sense of taste, the sense of smell. All other senses heighten when the sense of sight is diminished. And this can leave one feeling unsafe. Unknown sounds louder, unknown smells stronger, unknown touch sharper. And all because one cannot see clearly. And yet, now see the forest where one can see clearly, where the light shines brightly through the density of the trees, through the density of the feelings, in the forest of feelings. And where there is light, there is a sense of safety. Where there is light, there is a sense of the known. Where there is light, all appears to be safe. And let this be so. As the light shines through your forest of feelings, it lights up the forest, it lights up the ground, and it lights up every living being within the forest. And the brighter the light, the safer all living beings feel. Now I see a child skipping through the forest, and she appears absolutely carefree as she skips round and round the trees, as if it is a game. She skips round and round the trees, winding her way through the forest, and I can see the small child is holding a tiny drum, and she beats the drum to the rhythm of her movement as she skips through the forest. I cannot hear the drum, and yet I can see the child playing her drum, and I can feel the vibration. I can feel the energy of the drum that the child beats rhythmically. The drum beat of the child, the drum, the heart, the drum beat, the heartbeat. And as one listens to one's heartbeat, one is in truth listening to the drumbeat of the child, the rhythmical, pulsing vibration of the inner child. And it is known, it is the first sound a child hears in the womb, the rhythm of its mother's heartbeat. It feels the rhythm of its own heartbeat. Two heartbeats beating in oneness. The sound of the drum evokes feelings of safety as one hears a gentle, rhythmical drumming sound. It evokes the memories of being in the womb. If you find yourself in a position where you do not feel safe, evoke this memory. Call this memory in. The memory of being in the womb, safe, protected, everything provided, soft sounds, muffled by the lining of the womb and the skin of the mother's body. These sounds evoke feelings of safety and peace and are fundamental as one retrieves one's feelings of safety. Now I see a Native American Indian chief has appeared from behind one of the trees. He stands quietly and peacefully, watching the child as she skips around the forest, oblivious to any thought or feelings of fear, simply playing her drum and enjoying the movement. Spirit watches over the child always. The child within you is never unsafe. The child within you is always joyful. It is always moving. It is always skipping and gently tapping the rhythm of its movement in a drum beat, in your heartbeat. The child resides in the forest of feelings, and yet it is only touched by the light. It is only touched by the light because it is the light. The light of the child magnetizes the light into the forest of feelings. So whilst the child can see the trees, the child can see the feelings do not touch the child. The child simply skips around the feelings to its own rhythm, its own beat, and spirit watches on always. Spirit, the caretaker of the child. Spirit, the observer of the child. Spirit, the safety, the protection, the safety, the protection that is within all of us. And you should know that in the times you feel unsafe, it is the feeling of your feelings. It is directly relatable to how much light shines in the forest of your feelings. When you enable the light to shine through the forest of your feelings, you will feel safe. You will see the child, the carefree child, skipping around the feelings, not touched by the feelings. You will see the spirit in you that constantly observes the child, that watches over the child in you, and that ensures the child in you is safe. And the more light you enable to shine into your forest of feelings, the more you will see of your safe inner world. You will see the bright colours. You will see the gentle life. You will see the peace, and you will see the tranquility. And as you stand in your own forest of feelings, as you shine your light into your forest of feelings, you will experience your haven. You will experience in the inner scape your sense of safety, your sense of peace, your sense of tranquility. And you may ask, how do I enable more light to shine in my forest of feelings? And the answer is this: your light is your consciousness. Your light is moved by your thoughts. As you release the thoughts of unsafety, as you release the thoughts of conflict, as you release the thoughts of fear, of being hurt, of feeling pain, these thoughts will dissipate. They will open the canopy in the forest of feelings to enable more light to shine into your inner world. And as you see that inner world, you will see the physical environment in which you uniquely feel safe. As you shine more light into your forest of feelings, you will see your child. You will feel its drumbeat, and you will feel the heartbeat. Memories of safety, the rhythmical heartbeat in the womb will be evoked as you focus on your child. And as you shine more light into your forest of feelings, you will see your spirit. You will see your spirit guide as it watches over the womb of the inner scape, the child that resides in that womb, the drumbeat, the heartbeat of that child which resonates around your inner landscape, and you feel safe. You feel at peace. You feel tranquil in your forest of feelings as the light shines through the trees of feeling and lights up the whole of your inner environment with an energy of love and with a feeling of safety. Night, night, sweet dreams.